Hi there, this is Jamie Dyer welcoming you to this edition of Dyer's Weekly. Must remember not to use the phrase Dyer's Daily anymore, because whenever I talk about it with people, it rolls off the tongue. I cannot help it. I've been doing it for 3 years, and now I'm having to say something else. It's typical. Old habits die hard. Speaking of Die Hard, the classic 1988 Bruce Willis action Christmas or not Christmas film landed on Disney Plus this week, and I can admit to you that I have never seen it. I've seen clips, obviously, and documentaries on the making of it, but I've never actually seen the movie itself. So I will try and slot in a place for that in my Christmas watching, because I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies. I've just finished the Princess Switch on Netflix. I watched a thing called Father Christmas is Back, which is a Netflix original also. I may talk about that later on in the episode if I can find enough. What am I talking about? Of course I can find enough to say about it. Oh well. So this week, Talking Pictures TV, which is this amazing archive TV channel that plays a lot of stuff from sort of the 30s, 40s, 50s, up to sometimes the 80s on Freeview here in the UK, they've just launched a new service to allow people to catch up on things they may have missed. And this is an amazing thing that has been asked for, I think, for as long as Talking Pictures has been a thing. And it's called Talking Pictures TV, or TPTV Encore, and it's available on the internet, so on your internet browser or via the browser on your Fire Stick or your Roku box, and it allows you to watch not just stuff that's been on Talking Pictures recently, but also stuff from the Southern TV archive, because the people behind it own rights to that, some of that, and also some classic television programming as well. It's nicely laid out. I think it works really well. I've watched episodes of Runaround on there, which is this amazing sort of late 70s, early 80s TV show that was like this game show with Mike Reed. I feel like I've talked about it previously. It's a must watch. And most importantly as well, this service is free. In an age where streaming services are charging, in the most part, there are free ones out there, but the big ones are charging money to watch, which is all well and good, great, but Talking Pictures TV have identified that their audience would prefer it to be free. It allows greater access to things. At the moment, it's just available as a website. It's not on an app yet, and I'm not sure whether that is forthcoming, but I'm sure in the future, if it takes off with the various things that are on there. I mean, there's a war section, there is a glimpses section, we've got a western section as well. I mean, everything that you could ever want. I'm sure if it takes off, there will be an app at some point. If you're interested in finding out more, go to tptvencore.co.uk, and you can also tweet them as well. I'm going to try and see some more stuff. I've just seen that there's a Southern TV show on there called Hog's Back, which is this mid-70s sitcom. I might go and watch that, and I'll report back to you on what I think of it. So yeah, go and check that out. Go and support it. It's a great initiative. So December is upon us, and I'm sure that you will be expecting me to say at this moment that Christmas films have arrived on terrestrial television for the first time in a year. No, I think they were running since about, late October on Channel 5. They seem to get earlier every year, and they've always got really weird names. I think a lot of them stem from sort of Lifetime and Hallmark. But I haven't been watching those. I've been catching up on my Christmas movies on Netflix. I've just finished a movie, as I said previously, called Father Christmas is Back. It's got Kelsey Grammer, Chris Marshall of My Family fame, John Cleese, Caroline Quentin, Elizabeth Hurley. It's this bizarre kind of weird thing. I think it was trying to be all things to all people. It's this story of a man who comes back after 25 or 30 years or something to his children's house, and John Cleese plays his brother. Caroline Quentin is the grandmother in this thing, which is really odd. I enjoyed it. It was kind of, I know some would call it trashy. I think it was the good kind of trashy, but I'm not going to give it a review too much. I'm not going to give it a rating because it may be higher than it should be. I don't know. I enjoyed it nonetheless. It was okay for what it was. But it seems that Netflix is really cashing in on Christmas movies. There seems to be loads. I've seen one this year advertised, which I might have a look at. Castle for Christmas. Which has got Vanessa Hudgens in it. She seems to make a habit of being in those movies. I've just seen her, as I said previously, in a Castle, not a Castle, no, the other one, the Princess Switch with Sam Palladio, which again was inoffensive, pretty standard Christmas fare, all the hallmarks, if you pardon the pun, of a Christmas movie, and a fairly enjoyable watch overall. I thought it was anyway, and I started to watch it simply because I thought, well, something with two sequels must have started out pretty good in the end. I might check out the others. We'll just have to see how we go and whether I get to watch Die Hard or not. So I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to those who have listened to the podcast over the last 12 months or so, on and off, through Dyer's Daily, Dyer's Weekly, and beyond. It's been amazing to do this podcast because, as you know, I started it in the first place to help with my speech and my confidence in front of the microphone. And I feel that 3 years on, it still works. I'm hoping to keep producing episodes throughout the year, but it is my birthday next week on the 6th. I'll be 32 and I'm unsure what I'm doing yet, but hopefully right up until Christmas and into the new year, you will get episodes from Dyer's Daily. I just want to do a quick plug for the other podcasts that I do. I do the Quocast, a Status Quo fan podcast. So if you're a fan of the Frantic Four or anything else to do with Status Quo, you might want to go and check that out. I do interviews, reviews. I also do a YouTube channel as well. And 90s and Noughties UK is exactly what it says on the tin, a podcast on 90s and 2000s pop culture from the UK and elsewhere as well. I also do a YouTube channel where I do taste tests. I talk about it on here sometimes. I wasn't going to produce anything for the rest of the year, but I decided to carry on because I enjoy it so much and I need to build on that momentum. So those are the things you should go and check out. I think I'm on that Linktree thing, but the link URL is gone from the top of my head right now. I'll have to put it in the description or something. But thank you so much for listening. Please do rate, comment, subscribe, all the stuff. Spread the word about this podcast, and in the future I might not make it pop quite so much. Have a good week, and I will see you on the next episode of Dyer's Weekly.